Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Noble, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my Galaxy Eyes Photon deck profile. So I really like this deck. I profiled it about 3 months ago or something, but it has changed quite a bit, especially with XYZ Import being a really cool card, especially for this deck, because this deck is all about turning out Exceed monsters. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what it looks like now, because like I said, it does look different than the last time I profiled it. So without further ado, guys, I don't like long intros. Let's get into this. You already know to use that code NOBLECHAOS10 if you're ordering a beautiful mat like this over at Pay Omega Mats, or getting a field center like this as well. So to start off with, we're running triple Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which is like really self-explanatory. This is a Galaxy Eyes Photon deck. You are playing 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. If you're playing the Ghost Rares, or if you have 3 of the Ghost Rares laying around, hit me up, let me know. I would love to know. I'd love to be your friend. I'm running triple Galaxy Knight. I thought about bumping this down to 2 for a time being, and then I played with this deck a whole lot more. This card's just really good, especially in grindier games. This card is just, it's really vital, honestly, for going into your Exceed plays. What it does, it's a level 8, but if you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, which you like always will, you can literally just normal summon this card without tributing. And then if you do that, you target Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon in your graveyard if possible. And then regardless, the card loses 1,000, and if it does, you special summon that target, if any, in face-up defense position. So you can literally just get this card out and then literally have like a free rank 8 play pretty much. This card is so good, and like you do get your Galaxy Eyes Photon to the graveyard quickly. So that's not really an issue for the most part. I'm also playing triple Photon Orbital. Unfortunately, one thing that's not different is the price on this card. This card is still really expensive, and I'm really hoping this card gets a reprint soon. But it is really good for this deck. But if you don't have access to it, you can still get away with it. Maybe play 2 Galaxy Wizards or something like that. You can definitely still play this deck without this card. But I'm not going to lie to you and say having this card doesn't help the consistency, because it definitely does. Because what this card does is during your main phase, you can target a Photon or Galaxy monster you control and equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. It gains 500 attack and it cannot be destroyed by battle. That's cool, right? But the really cool effect is you can send this equipped card to the graveyard and then add a Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, and it's a hard once per turn. So literally just grab anything out of your deck, pretty much any Photon or Galaxy monster, and then go into whatever you need for that current situation. Speaking of Galaxy monsters, I'm running triple Galaxy Soldier. This card is really good, and it literally allows us to play Infinity in this deck as well. Because what it does is a level 5 Light Machine monster, and you can send another Light monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand in defense position, and when this card is special summoned, you can add a Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, and this is also a hard once per turn. I'm running 3 Galaxy Brave. Galaxy Brave is a really good card. What it does is it's a level 8 warrior monster, and if this card is in your hand, you can reveal a Photon monster from your hand, special summon this card, and then if you do that, its level becomes the level of that Photon monster. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can target a Galaxy monster in your graveyard. This card's attack defense becomes that monster's attack and defense, and that's a permanent attack gain as well, and you can only use this effect once per turn. But I've almost never kept him. Like, I think I've kept him on the field to go into an OTK once, just to have that little extra attack power. But most of the time, you're able to summon him and then go into a rank 8 play from there, because a lot of times you're gonna have a a level 8 monster in your hand anyway, so he's gonna maintain that level 8 as well. I'm playing triple Photon Vanisher. This card is really good. I love this card. It's a little bit weird, but it helps out a lot, because it's a level 4 warrior monster, but it can't be normal summon or set. It must first be special summon from your hand if you control a Photon or Galaxy monster, and it can attack the turn special summon. But when it is special summoned, you can add a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand, so it literally searches out one of the key cards in this deck, which is really cool. And then an XYZ monster that was summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect that it banishes a monster destroyed by battle with this card, and you can only special summon Photon Vanisher in this way once per turn. I'm running a Photon Thrasher. I actually bumped this one down. I just didn't really play this one as much, and I kind of wanted to make room for more disruptions as well. If you wanted to bump up Photon Thrasher, that would be fine. But I'm also running double Ash as well, and I didn't really want to go up too high in the deck, the number count, but double Ash actually seems to be fine. So far I've been getting this one when I need to get it, but if you rather want a third one, you can make room somewhere. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're playing triple trade-in, which is really good in this deck because you have quite a bit of level 8 monsters and just straight up discarding, because a lot of times you can discard your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which you want in the graveyard anyway, and then draw 2, and then you might draw into another trade-in, which a lot of times you'll have another level 8 monster, and since it's not even a soft once per turn, just go get some more cards. That's really cool. I'm running triple of the newly received XYZ import. So this card is awesome. It's a quick play spell, and you target an XYZ monster you control and one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it, and you attach that opponent's monster to that monster you control's material. You only activate one XYZ import per turn. So it's literally like, hey, your monster, your materials are materials. Literally just like, hey, give me that. And it replenishes the material, and I really, really like that. It does target, so something that's targeting protection, it can't really get past that, but this is a really cool card, and it works really well for this deck. And just being able to activate on your opponent's turn as well is a stupid kind of disruption, and I really like that. I'm running triple Galaxy Expedition. This card is really good in this deck, what it does is if you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, you can special summon a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck and face up defense position, and you can only activate Galaxy Expedition once per turn. But this is really good, just helps turbo into our Exceed plays. I'm also running triple Photon Sanctuary. This card is amazing. It's low-key kind of broken actually, because you can special summon 2 Photon tokens. It's a Thunder type light, level 4, attack 2000 and defense 0 in defense position. And these tokens cannot attack or be used to synchro material monsters. That's the only restriction on it. And then you can't summon other monsters that you're trying to activate this effect except light monsters, which is really not a big deal. But the really crazy thing about this is it's not a once per turn card as well. It's not even a soft once per turn. So you can literally activate multiple ones if you open up into them. And it's just really helpful. I'm running a Galaxy Trance. This is a really good card. You pay 2,000 life points to target a Photon monster in your graveyard and you special summon both it and one Galaxy monster from your deck with the same level, both in defense position. And if you do that, each monster's attack becomes 2,000. Their effects are negated, and you only activate one Galaxy Trance per turn. You cannot normal or special summon monsters the turn you activate this card, except Photonic Galaxy monsters, which is not restricting at all. Just keeping the back of mind in your case. You think about going to infinity, but like that's really not a big deal. Because this card is really good, just being able to bring something out into your deck and then literally go into a rank 8 play is really helpful. Also running a Galaxy Zero. You target a Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard and special summon it and face up attack position and equip it with this card. It cannot attack or activate its effects, and if it would be destroyed by battle during the battle phase, you can destroy this card instead, and when this card leaves the field, the equipped monster's attack becomes 0. Literally none of that matters, as basically just a monster reborn for this deck, because you're just going to use it to bring out something from the graveyard and probably go into some rank 8 plays. And then I'm also running a Rhoda. Rhoda is really cool because it does search out our 1 Photon Thrasher and our 3 copies of Photon Vanisher. I'm running a Monster Reborn, a Pot of Avarice, because you do fill up your graveyard quite a bit. And there's some stuff in there that you can afford to shuffle back into the deck and then draw to. And then also, I'll go ahead and just put them right there. I'm running triple Imperm. Again, Imperm is expensive, and I understand that. And you can absolutely swap this out for something else if you want. And then I'm also running double Tachyon Transmigration. Tachyon Transmigration is a really cool card. Honestly, if you didn't have Imperm, you could just run 3 of this. It doesn't say Photon or Galaxy in his name, which sucks, but I do understand it because it'd be broken because it'd be searchable. But Tachyon Transmigration is really, really cool because it's a counter trap. So it's a spell speed 3, and if you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, negate the activations of your opponent's spell and trap cards and monster effects activated before this card in this chain. And if you do, shuffle the negated cards on the field into this deck, and if you control a Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, you can activate this card from your hand. Which, like, if I had this card in my hand, like, I am literally tempted to go into Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon just for that effect, because that is really cool. I activated this against my friend who plays Sky Strikers, and it just straight up destroyed. Like, he had to scoop because the stuff he needed to go into his graveyard, he activated like 2 or 3 cards, and I waited and changed. It was like a chain link 4. Literally negated all that stuff, shuffled all of it back to the deck, and he didn't get any of those resources in the graveyard. This is a really good card, and unfortunately, just have to kind of hope you draw it for the most part. because it's not searchable. But again, it'd be really broken if it was searchable, so I get it. So that's actually it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm running double number 90 Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. This card's really cool. It's the built-in monster negate of the deck, basically. It's just 2 level 8 monsters, and this card has a Photon card as material. It can't be destroyed by card effects, which is really cool. It gives it some built-in protection. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. When an opponent's monster activates an effect, quick effect, you can detach material from this card, negate that monster's effect, and if the detached material is the Galaxy card, which it probably will be, you destroy that card, which is really cool. And then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can take a Photon or Galaxy card from your deck and either add it to your hand or attach it to this card's material, so you can literally search something out from your deck and just put it straight to your hand or replenish the material, which is really nice. I'm running one number 38 Hope Harbinger. If you're playing something like Sky Striker, you might want to bump this up to 2, but this is really cool because it's just like the built-in spell negate of the deck. I'm also running a number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. It goes for absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love that. But this card's really cool because it does some battle phase stuff to where once per battle phase, at the start of your battle phase, you can detach material from this card and negate the effects of all other face-up monsters currently on the field, which is really cool because it doesn't target. And then also their attack and defense become their original attack and defense. And if you do any of these during the battle phase's turn, each time an opponent's card effect resolves, this card gains 1,000 attack to the end phase. Also, it can make a second attack during each battle phase's turn. And then also, if you have this and you happen to have Tachyon Transmigration in your hand, hey, guess what? You can activate that from your hand. So I do actually really like this card a lot. Honestly, this is one of my favorite Galaxy Eyes cards. I'm also running a number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. I'm not running full armor. If you want to bump full armor in, you could do that. I just didn't really play full armor as much, so I kind of made that substitution. I'm running a Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, Star Leech Photon Blast Dragon. This one's cool because what it does is 2 level 4 Exceed. And this card is Exceed Summoning Special Summon a Photon monster from your hand, and while this XYZ summoned monster is on the field, your opponent cannot target monsters you control 2,000 or more card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, so basically they have to get past this thing first. And then once per turn, quick effect, you can detach the material from this card, then target one of your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon that is banished or in your graveyard and special summon it. I'm also running a Nova and an Infinity because you're able to do this literally because what's his name exists. Galaxy Soldier exists in this deck, so you are able to go into him, which is really helpful, being able to have like number 90 on the field and 38 and then end with Infinity. It's a pretty good board. Running also a Dengirsu because this is like on summon a non-target non-destruction removal, and it's also just a generic level 8, which is easy to do in this deck. Running a number 23 Lancelot. This is a really good card. It's just 2 level 8, again generic, and this card can attack your opponent directly while it's a material, and then if it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and then pop it. And then once per turn during either player's turn, when a spell or trap or another monster's effect is activated, you detach material from this card and negate the activation. It doesn't destroy, but it negates. That is really cool. It has an Omnigate, can attack directly, and then you can pop something if you do battle damage. For the links, I'm running one Bujinki Ahashima. This card's really cool. It's actually really good in this deck. It's just a link to 2 monsters with the same level. It can't be used as link material. You use each of the following effects of Bujinki Ahashima. I'm probably not saying that right. Once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 2 monsters with the same level, one from your hand and one from your graveyard, but negate the effects, and immediately after this effect resolves, Exceed summon 1 Exceed monster using those 2 monsters only. So it literally helps turbo out into our rank 8 plays as well. I've used it literally, I think almost every single game I've played this deck, I use this card. Like, it is a really good card in this deck. And then it also has a secondary effect with an Exceed monster. This card points to activates effect by detaching material except during the damage step. You can also pop a spell trap your opponent controls. And I'm also, lastly, running a double Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare because this card helps out quite a bit. You just burn through stuff, and this does help quite a bit. And then also, like, House of Champs gave me this one, so I just kind of wanted to flex on that one. But I do recommend running 2. I did run 3 for a bit. I kind of felt like I could use that extra deck spot, so I bumped it down to 2. But if you wanted to run 3 of this, you could do that. That'd be fine. So that's actually it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is one of my favorite decks to play. I probably say that about like almost every deck. This is actually in my top 5 favorite, up there with Mech Knights. I really like this deck a lot. I really like the mechanic of Exceed Summoning, and just this deck that turbos out rank 8 Exceed monsters that have really good effects and high attack power. And the fact they're dragons just really helps out with that. It's just a lot of fun to play. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're here and you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe. I'd absolutely love that. Hit the bell so you can become a part of the notification team so you don't miss anything that goes on this channel. And while you're here and if you watched this video and you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It allows my videos to circulate around YouTube a little bit more. And I greatly appreciate that because I'm still a very small YouTuber and you guys have been doing that. Things have been popping up more and it's literally all thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.